Dwellers, and welcome back to Top Shelf Disney Animation Studios Library. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because we've been trying to record this stupid episode for 45 minutes.
Never in the history has there been so many technical difficulties, which is apt because this movie itself took 10 years to make, so why wouldn't we take 10 years to try to record the episode? Oh my God.
Exactly.
We were 15 minutes in. 15 minutes into the freaking recording, and I looked down and I wasn't recording. Ah!
But as I said, TC, at least it was only 15 minutes, and we didn't wrap up the episode, and then you realized we've been talking for an hour and a half with nothing.
Well,
this week's episode will be released as a transcript.
It's just going to be me cursing for 15 minutes. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Disney Animation Studios podcast, Top Shelf, where we go back week by week and watch year by year, movie by movie of the Disney Animation Studios library. This week, we are watching the 1950, I don't remember, Sleeping Beauty. What is it? What is it?
The 1959 Sleeping Beauty.
There we go.
Oh,
I am TC, and across from me, as always, just a breath away, is my
always
dear,
a breath. We're right next to one another.
Patient co-host, Jeff,
I'm here, everybody. Hello everybody.
Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
Nice little switcheroo for the opening, but which is hilarious because the amount of anger that I can hear in your voice right now. That was the amount of anger I have towards this movie. So now I feel like we're kind of balanced. TC.
We're on even ground here. We're on even ground. So you're just saying it right up front that I'm
going to say it right up front. So
you don't like this movie.
I did not like this movie. We previously discussed about how sometimes we were kind of looking forward to disagreeing on a film, and we are human and we all have different tastes, especially when it comes to our ranking of the films. Boy, that's going to be a fun section, TC.
Well, I already have it. I already wrote down my ranking. Unless you wildly change my mind, I know where I'm putting this. But please continue.
All right,
please continue.
But no, I sat down and watched this movie, and okay, first off, as I usually do, because normally, TC, you're very much so you're very skilled at being the one that comes up with the analogies and figuring out how what this means and deeper meanings. You're really good at doing that stuff. I tend to focus on the technical side, and I will say this: the movie, another widescreen, another CinemaScope widescreen film, looks gorgeous. I love the very detailed backgrounds; they look gorgeous. The flat kind of non-shadowed but kind of cartoony but still fairly detailed characters design looks fantastic. But the story, of the movie, just what the fairies do bothers me so much.
What the fairies is going on here?
But I did write down that this movie should not be called Sleeping Beauty and should be called Stupid Fairies is what it should be called.
Well,
because
because
Sleeping Beauty is barely in this film, right?
Yeah. What does she have? A dozen lines? You are dead on here. And
yeah.
If you haven't seen Maleficent...
It takes her 20 minutes before she shows up.
Yeah. Have you seen the live-action Sleeping Beauty, the Maleficent with Angelina Jolie?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Okay. I thought... I hated the fairies in that movie. Someone actually tweeted us our thoughts on Maleficent, so I'm just gonna put it in here now. I really disliked Maleficent. I know people like that movie, but I thought it was garbage. Tonally, a mess, and it was a wreck of a film. As far as I'm concerned, it was just all over the place, and you can't create sympathy for one of the greatest villains of all time by just making the fairies that much more incompetent. I'm not going to root for a lesser of two evils when they're both just Maleficent is an amazing villain. You're right. This movie, Sleeping Beauty, that we watched, looks beautiful. The vibrant colors. There's a definite change in the animation style that Disney had coming off of Lady and the Tramp, Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland. There's a very significant difference in look on this film that's going to carry on through the rest of this golden era. But you're not wrong to not like this movie, because Sleeping Beauty was a stain on this animation studio for decades. This was don't bring it up territory. Sleeping Beauty was considered a failure, and it only took decades later for people to develop an appreciation for what works in this movie, such as the animation technique and Maleficent as a villain.
Which is so weird. Like, I wonder what about it did people not like, basically. Like, I know what I don't like about it, and my issues with it are generally story-based problems. And I understand that you have to have that moment of like suspension of disbelief where, it's a fairy tale, it's magical, there's magic and fairies, and the bad guy turns into a giant dragon at the end. And yes, it's supposed to be kind of just, oh yeah, it's fine, it's a kid's film. But the reason anything happens in this film is because the fairies continuously make poor decisions over and over and over again.
Yeah. It feels like,
and that's what bothers me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you can only suspend your disbelief so much before you're like, that's dumb, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And to me, you have the animation. You have a great hero in Prince Philip. You have an amazing villain in Maleficent. And there's even some fun to be had with the kings, King Stefan and King Hubert. But it feels like 15, 20 minutes of this movie is missing because there's no development whatsoever of the title character, of Sleeping Beauty herself. And Prince Philip he's a good progression of princes, because if you look at the prince from Snow White, he's nothing. If you look at Prince Charming from Cinderella, he's a little bit more. Prince Philip, he actually is a proactive. He's an interesting hero. He battles the villain in the end with some nice Luke Skywalker flailing sword fighting, and he's got some good stuff to him. But still, it feels like something's missing from elements all over this film, and I think that's why it's considered a failure, because it doesn't feel complete, right?
Right, like it feels like this. Yeah, like you said, it feels like we're missing parts of the story that would have helped fill in those gaps or explain why certain things happen. Not in the sense of just like, well, why? Wait, how did she get there? Like, it's not like that type of thing missing. It's just, it's like motivation is wrong or is missing. Like, the why is gone.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not the how. We understand the how, but it's the why that is not developed. Even if it was just little extra bits of dialogue here and there to explain some character choices and developing Aurora herself. She's one of the all-time classic Disney princesses, and there's nothing about her. There's nothing more than descriptions of her, and there's very little about her that feels earned. And I know I don't want to talk about Tangled too much, but there's a lot of similarities between this and Tangled. Even in the heroine, like Rapunzel runs around barefoot, just like Aurora does, and they are blonde, and they sing to the animals, and they are taken away from their parents, and there's a lot of similarities there, but there's so much more about Rapunzel that's developed, and nothing about Aurora that's developed.
No, and in my head, like, the way that this movie is structured, it'd be like, I even feel like Snow White had at least a little more development to her character, and nothing really happens with her. I mean, even in that movie, she runs away from the castle and then lives with the dwarves for a while. Yeah. More or less, that's it until the prince shows up. But I feel like there's still there's a character there. There's a little bit of a development there for her. Aurora doesn't have anything. It would literally, it'd be like if Snow White. First off, it'd be like if the movie Snow White was the dwarves for 90% of it, talking about Snow White, who is just off camera the entire time.
Right, because you have
that's
Flora,
what this feels like.
Fauna, and Merryweather they have far more story to tell. And that would have been fine. If they wanted to tell this entire story from their perspective, that could have worked. That could have been a very interesting film. To make Sleeping Beauty the tertiary character to these adventures of these fairies, that would have been fine. I would have been on board for that, but they don't even have enough development. They're just foolish fairies, and I can't get over that.
They are the main characters, but they are conveyed and written and performed as if they are still the secondary characters to something bigger.
Yeah.
So that's a really great point, and maybe that's why I don't like the movie. I mean, my list of their decisions of what they do really bugs the crap out of me. But that is a really good point, that because they don't have any development and they are still written and performed as the secondary characters. They are not written as main characters, and if they had put more time into those characters, give me more reason why I should be caring about them, because frankly, they just seem to only ever cause problems, and I don't care about those three fairies anymore.
Yeah.
The only thing, the one time that I actually was kind of like, that's fun, is at the end, literally, the last shot of the movie, when Aurora's dress keeps changing from pink to blue from their earlier argument. I went, yes. And I'm like, you don't even see them. It just happens. I'm like, that's funny. That was well done. Unfortunately, the rest of it, I couldn't get behind it, because I had reached that point where I'm like, no, you're making me assume way too much. I can't just keep being like, oh, no, that's fine, or oh, that's fine too. I couldn't.
There's these little moments. There's little signs of something greater. I will point to Prince Philip again as an interesting Prince character. He's not developed enough. I don't want to make it sound like I think he's amazing, but there's enough there that I like him as a character. There's some cool stuff in him. And even the two kings and they have that one scene where they're discussing the castle that Hubert built for them. And Stefan is like, well, I haven't even seen her in 16 years. Do we really have to rush her off? And while that's going on, there's the minstrel who's getting like wasted on the wine. And
see, right. Like, that scene felt like the most complete. Like, that was the scene where they're like, yep, this is what the whole film should have been like.
Do you this is just me, but when maybe you can agree with me on this. I see that minstrel as a young Eric Idle. Like, that feels exactly a role performed that way.
I could see that.
Eric Idle would have played it.
I never thought of that.
If for those of you listening who are like, who's Eric Idle? He's from Monty Python. He even looks like Eric Idle in his design. I doubt that's
a good point.
We're in the 50s. This is long before the Pythons existed, but in watching that, I'm like, I could totally see this as a Python bit.
So what you're saying, TC, is Eric Idle modeled himself after the minstrel from Sleeping Beauty.
That's exactly
that's
saying.
What you're saying, right? Okay, good, because we're on the same page then. All right, I totally agree. I think.
Well, let's get back to
that's a good point. I could totally see that.
Yeah. That was just a fun note I had in watching it. That's a fun scene. There's a lot of gags in there that it's just a character getting drunk, but it's fun. But let's get back on the page of your page, Jeff, because you have a page of notes, and I've just blown through pretty much all of mine.
All right. So what I want to do, because I can't bring up the fact that I'm not happy with I don't enjoy this movie without at least explaining the things that irk me the most about the fairies and what their actions are. Because here is what happens in the movie. Okay. And this is also kind of like a brief recap of the film, so this will work.
For those who may not have seen it in a decade.
Exactly. So Princess Aurora is born as a baby. Maleficent shows up, puts a curse on the baby that says she will live a healthy and good life for 16 years until her 16th birthday, where she will prick her finger on a spinning wheel and then die or go into a coma.
No, she'll die. She'll die. That was the original
She
curse.
will die, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what Maleficent says is she's going to be fine for 16 years. No problems. She'll die on her 16th birthday.
Yeah.
Immediate, and this is the one moment where I'm like, okay, fairies, I understand. The fairies decide we need to hide her because they didn't feel that the king getting rid of all the spinning wheels was enough. Because the king got rid of all the spinning wheels in the kingdom, so that wouldn't happen. First off, bro's got 16 years to do this. He does not need to do it immediately. Maleficent never said it was going to happen before her 16th birthday.
Right, just destroy all the spinning wheels on the 15th year and some odd days leading up to the 16th birthday. And be like, hey, Aurora, whatever you do, don't go near any spinning wheels.
Because now, here's the thing. They could spend 15 almost 16 years, basically just telling her spinning wheels are bad. But guess what, honey? To save your life, we will lock you in a sealed off jail cell for 1 day. I understand it's your birthday. It's going to kind of crummy, but we'll make it up to you tomorrow. We'll totally do a big thing. Like, that is what they could have done.
Yeah.
Instead, they took her away from her family. So Aurora now grows up 16 years thinking she's Briar Rose, some just regular peasant girl, has no idea she's a princess, has no idea or no emotional or loving connection to her family or anybody in her family because she's been taken away from them for 16 years. And then, so okay, whatever, they thought that was safer. Then the day before her birthday, on her birthday, the fairies decide to let her go out into the woods all by herself. Why?
They needed her out of the house so they could make the cake and the dress. Come on.
True, but then one of them should have gone with her, just as extra protection. So that was the first thing. I'm like, okay, that's all right, whatever. I'll let that go as well. Then they decide to bring her back to the kingdom on her 16th birthday. Why did you even bother taking her away for the last 16 years?
They succeeded. They were just happy in the very dour and grim circumstances of trudging secretly back into the castle. They were very successful.
But then they leave her alone in the kingdom, in the castle. So then she can get tricked by Maleficent to then go and prick her finger on a magical spinning wheel. Why did they bother getting rid of the spinning wheel? Why did they bother taking her away for the 16 years when they really only needed to take her away for a day? Mm-hmm. And then the fairies realized they screwed up. So instead, to hide their mistake, they put the entire kingdom to sleep. Instead of just admitting, crap, we might have screwed up, we're going to fix it. They hide the fact that they screwed up.
You go big, all right? So like whenever I go into the restroom and the countertop is wet and I lean into it and I get that little splatter of water right on my crotch. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about, right? Right? You just get a little wet. What I like to do is I take a handful of water. I take a handful of water and I just start spritzing my pants all over. So then it doesn't look like I peed myself. It just looks like I had a mishap with a faucet, right? So they didn't just double down. They just tripled down. Like, we made a mistake. Let's knock everyone out.
So you're relating the fairies' constant mishaps to trying to hide the fact, try to make it look like you didn't pee your pants.
Well, yeah,
when you didn't pee your pants. I understand that.
It'd be embarrassing if you walk out of the bathroom and you had that little bit of water right there, and people are like, "Did he? Oh, someone dribbled." But if you splash all over your pants, or if you knock a whole kingdom out, no one is the wiser. No one will know. They'll be like, "It's the perfect crime."
I just want to know how those fairies got as far along in life as they have, because I feel like they have just been constantly making mistakes for their entire life. They're like the Three Stooges of the Disney films right now.
Oh man, you know what? Recast this movie. If it had been Mo, Larry, and Curly as the three male fairies who take care of, that would have been a whole better movie, wouldn't it? Come on now.
Which they did do a couple movies like that in the 60s. They did these like fairy tale versions where they were in it. Now it wasn't Curly, it was I think Curly Joe, but
they
still
did
like they
Hercules.
did.
Hercules is the one that comes to mind for me.
Yes. So like I see now that in that instance, and I don't know if this makes me sound hypocritical, if it was the Three Stooges cast as those characters, then I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. They're just idiots.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have been as angry about all the crap they did because they are established to be bumbling idiots.
Yeah, they're stooges.
Yeah, But like the fairies, I don't find that there's enough backstory. If that was what they were supposed to be, if they were supposed to just kind of be bumbling idiots, they didn't explain that.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me.
At the very least, I think they may have come from the same land or school that the fairy godmother came from. They had a similar kind of flightiness, no pun intended,
right?
As the fairy godmother had.
Wah, wah.
Don't judge.
So that's a real question there, because like I want to know. So real quick, those were my biggest points and biggest complaints about this film, and it was just because it was one thing after another. Once they took her back to the castle on her 16th birthday, I was practically checked out because I'm like, okay, no, this is just stupid. And then it was just, then you leave her alone, then she still gets pricked, then you put it was just like, at that point, it was just salt on the wound for me, and I was just like, nope, this is stupid. I can't do this anymore. I did finish it. Don't think I didn't finish the movie. It was just, I had reached that point with the story that I was just like, nope, I don't care. What do you do now? Oh, okay. And then once Prince Philip showed up and Maleficent turned into the dragon, I was back on board a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Well, let's
get the fairies out of the way.
Let's actually go over there now. So I already complained about Maleficent the movie. Actually, hold on a second. Did I complain about Maleficent the movie this time or our failed recording? I do not remember.
No, I think I was this time. I'm pretty certain it was this time, actually.
Right.
So.
Well, let's talk about Maleficent because she is one of the all-time great villains. She is the only villain in the Disney library, at least the animated library, that calls upon the power of hell. Right? That's
true.
It's pretty badass. If you've ever played Kingdom Hearts, she's the big boss at the end of Kingdom Hearts. That she is the end-all, be-all villain. She's got an amazing design. I enjoy the voice acting. It's Lady Tremaine again, correct? From Cinderella. Yep. Her castle. From Cinderella. I love the design on her castle, and her little Diablo, her little
she
crow
is just
sidekick.
Like. Right, like she comes off as like, whereas previous villains are like bad people and they have, like a grudge and there seems to be some like still like human element to them as villains. She is just evil. She doesn't have any human qualities in a good way, like not in a bad way. It's actually refreshing to see like, yeah, you're just plain evil. You're just bad to the bone for no reason.
That's why I don't like Maleficent because they attempted to create sympathy for this.
They humanized her?
Yeah, and that can work, but you have to earn that. Just to force that upon us with Maleficent, the live action film, in making the fairies that much more incompetent, and that Maleficent's actually a hero the whole time protecting Sleeping Beauty. Like that changes so much about the character. No good. I do not like it. I prefer the straight up evil villain with hints of some sort of backstory. Give me Darth Vader, right? Don't give me whatever they did with Angelina Jolie, which was just forcing a star. Like it's her star. She's the star, so we got to make her sympathetic, right? No, come on. That's unearned. I don't. Maleficent is a demonic hell beast. Maybe she's some sort of like one of our comments on the Facebook page was, what do we think Maleficent is? Is she an evil fairy? Is she a demon spawn? What is she? Just a demon? Like what is she? She's just a badass. That's what she is.
See, and like for me in my head, that's a really fantastic question. In my head, I would, because this is how I work, I'd go the route that, yes, she was a fairy, but then, crap happened. Very much so. Unfortunately, I realized I just described the musical Wicked.
Well, okay, let's be honest. The only reason Maleficent the movie exists is because Disney couldn't secure the rights to Wicked. That's it. That's the only reason that they did that. There's no other rhyme or reason about why that movie exists.
Because they picked the other remaining green-skinned, black-clothed wearing bad guy who actually has a tragic good guy story behind him. Spoilers for the musical Wicked that's been out for like 13 years. Sorry. I guess. Yeah. I'm going to make somebody mad. Someone's going to be like, that was the plot of Wicked?
There's more to it than that.
Everybody. There's a lot more to it. Like when the Scarecrow shows up.
Yeah. Look,
sorry.
To make Maleficent a fallen fairy, to have once been a fairy and have her wings removed, that's the way they went with the Maleficent story. I prefer to just think of her as this evil hellspawn, that she was this wicked woman who just wants to conquer the world.
You know what I would like to think? I'd like to.
She doesn't even want to conquer the world. Go ahead, Jeff.
It's true. I know. Sorry, it's okay. Also, people listening, there's a little bit of a delay in this episode because of the technical issues. So TC and I are trying not to jump over each other. Hopefully, it's not too distracting. Now that I mentioned it, now that's all you're going to hear. Sorry, guys.
That's right. You'll just adjust it in post. Just scooch me over a second,
Exactly.
so that
every so often, so we're back in line. No, so what if now we're doing theories. We're doing our own theories here because I couldn't find any real good ones about this that I wanted to talk about. There was a couple ones. I think Wyatt posted on the Facebook page, like a Disney theory about the fairies, I believe. But like our own theories, like what if Maleficent was actually the former lover of the wizard from Fantasia?
Oh, so she is how you say Disney backward? Yeznid.
Yeah, whatever.
Sid. Yensid. There it is. You're saying
Yensid.
Maleficent and Yeznid were former lovers, and she's been spurned by him, so she just went on a tirade.
Right, and because there's some connections, because the fairies, at one point when they're cleaning the kitchen, a mop and bucket dance, very similarly to the way that the mops and buckets danced. Okay. So what if those two were together, and what if oh my goodness, the big baddie at the end of Fantasia, I'm spacing out, the big devil, Cernabog. What if that is like, what if she went to like him and like evil powers came out and she's just like
much rather see this Maleficent movie than the one they gave us.
Give me a movie where the bad guy is legitimately it's the origin story of the bad guy, not an origin story of the bad guy, but the bad guy's actually a good guy pretending to be a bad guy because they're good guys inside. Like, no. Make them a bad guy. I want a film about a bad guy. Give me the origin story of the bad guy, and please don't make it be the Star Wars prequels, because that doesn't count.
Well, I
don't want sympathy.
with this theory, it goes back to our tweet from weeks ago, which we said we'd come back to with more magicians. Of all the magic users we've seen so far, who would win in a battle royale? Now, initially, we did give it to the fairy godmother because she would dupe people into a false sense of security. But I think at this point, with three other dumb fairies screwing things up, the fairy godmother is now in trouble because her feigned ignorance is not going to work against their actual ignorance. So I think we're looking at Maleficent near the top of the pile here against Yeznid and Cernabog.
I would definitely agree because, I mean, Maleficent, she was able to basically make like a hologram version of herself, or like an apparition version of herself appear to Princess Aurora. She was able to brainwash Princess Aurora. You know, she didn't have to like give her a poison apple or anything like that. She literally showed up and brainwashed her.
Yeah, she can
just
teleport
from being there, right? She can what is it? Transfigure.
She can
transfigure. That's it. I read Harry Potter. I still didn't think of that. But like she can transfigure into a giant flippin' dragon, mind you.
Dragon versus Cernabog. That's the fight I want to see right there.
Oh, now between those two, who would win? Because I'm pretty positive Maleficent is easily, yes, like you said, one of the more powerful and at the top of the list.
Yeah.
But between those two, what is the scale between those two? I don't really know how big one is over the other.
Well, with I'd give let's see, if you think humans, I think Cernabog would be bigger, but I'm gonna say that Maleficent has the edge because she's not defeated by sunlight. Because even if she could just hold her own, Cernabog can be taken out by the end of the evening. He does have his little ghostly minions, and Maleficent does have her little minions as well. So that would be quite the fight. So let me tell you, folks.
Because I mean, if you think about it, like she's mobile, she can fly, she can hop around. He's not. He's stuck to the top of that mountain.
Yeah. See, once again, I'm telling you people, we need a Street Fighter Turbo version of all the Disney magic users in a fight, because we got some other great magic users coming down the pipe here, and I would just, oh man.
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom style animation fighting game with all the magic users. Give it to me. Give it to me.
With all the Disney characters. Disney could make so much money because they desperately need it. Obviously,
yeah,
these
of course.
days. They are so just bankrupt right now.
They certainly don't have a blockbuster coming out every month.
The thing is, if they made that game, yeah, I would buy it in a heartbeat. I'd buy that. I'd be like, yes, please, thank you, all right, and then yep, we just keep adding new characters when there's new ones. Like, okay, cool, yep, no problem. That'd be awesome. That'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic.
Well, we've certainly tangented it away from the movie here, so let's get back on track here.
Well, let's get back on track here. So let me talk about the Disney tropes for this film. Let me talk about the tropes that we come across. Basically, tropes, and then I have one first that I noted, and I want your clarification if it is a first. We'll get to that in a second. Actually, we'll just do that one right now.
Okay.
All right, my Disney first that I found was the prince defeats the bad guy.
Has the prince...
Is this the first time that's happened?
I guess in the full, if you go full feature, Philip is the first... yeah, okay, because you could potentially say Bongo does defeat the bear at the end of his story, but he's the main character of his story. So
that is true.
But that's
he's the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Prince Philip is still a secondary character. Well, I don't know. So is Princess Aurora technically. So I can't actually say that anymore. I can't say that the main character is the one that normally kills him. I forgot. You know what? I forgot about Bongo.
Right.
Okay. See, that's why I wanted your clarification on this.
But as a full feature, as the prince, if we're going full fairy tale here, yeah, this is the first occasion of that happening, because the dwarves defeat the witch in Snow White. There is no other. There hasn't been a lot of big final climactic battles in the movies that we've seen thus far. Right. And this one certainly has one of the biggest. It's a dragon versus a prince. I mean, you don't get much more epic fairy tale than that, at least at this point.
With fire and all sorts of thundering and lightning and storms, it's pretty fantastic actually.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, my Disney tropes for this one. This one's a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. All right. Number 1, villain with an animal sidekick.
Love it.
You got. Yep. Number 2, magical fairy / godmother overseeing the princess.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Number 3, a princess wandering in the woods, talking, playing, and singing with the animals.
Another one of those, yep.
That never happens. Number 4, the prince and his smart horse.
Yes, Samson the horse, another horse for the list.
Yep. Number 5, the princess meeting a guy and immediately falling in love with them.
Yes. Which
what in the world?
I don't think we will see that ever happen again, because it's now a joke within fairy tales. They've made fun of it in more than a fair share of the modern Disney movies.
Exactly. Number 6, the fat, portly king with a white mustache character.
The father is back.
I got to... Yep. And then finally, the bad guy falling to their death. Granted, yes, she did have a sword shoved into her, but she still fell to her death afterwards.
I'll allow it.
Lots of recurring tropes in this one.
I will give it.
The tropes are now easier to make than the first. So,
well, I will also say the barefoot princess, the barefoot main character.
Yes,
we get. There's a good amount of those when you really think about it. In terms of some of the movies we got coming, such as Pocahontas and Tangled, the barefoot princess it's a trope. I'll give it.
I don't want to see their feet because they're probably all calloused and just hard and dirty.
They might take good care of
it. They go home at night and just soak it in like a vat of Vaseline just to soften up their feet again.
Is this movie worth watching for kids? We've said in the past, are these movies that we should sit kids down in front of to enjoy these? This is one of the classics. This is one of the princess movies that does come to mind all the time. Hell, Disneyland's Sleeping Beauty's castle was dubbed Sleeping Beauty's castle
Yep.
4 years before this movie came out in a genius cross promotion by the brilliant Walt Disney Studios.
Very true. I would say yes, this movie is a movie that kids should watch. I really do firmly believe that. As much as I'm complaining about it, the stuff that I'm complaining about in this film is stuff that kids are not going to care about, and they're not going to notice. They're not going to dissect it. Kids are going to watch it. They're going to see because the fairies are goofy, and they're silly, and they're bumping around, and they're trying to make the cake, and the cake melts basically in front of their eyes, and the dress scene, that's funny. You have a bad guy who's just a bad guy. It doesn't matter what their story is, so you don't have to try to explain well, she's a bad guy because she was a good guy, and you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So it's just a very cut and paste bad guy, a very cut and paste princess. Here's the prince. Princess got a goofy horse. Princess falls in love. Princess, the thing comes true. The curse comes true. Oh no! And then they save her. And yep, yes,
I
that's
agree.
the movie for kids, and they're gonna like it.
Yeah, there's the simplicity of this is worth watching. I don't think this is one that you'd pop on and be annoyed that your kid was watching over and over again, because it is a beautiful looking movie, and it's inoffensive in its simplicity. There's nothing. It's not so bad. There's some movies that we will get to. There's one in particular that just bothers the it will be my bottom of the barrel movie. But there's nothing terrible about this movie. It's fine. I can remember when I was little seeing this movie. I've always liked the final battle. As a little boy who wanted to be Luke Skywalker and swinging a sword and being King Arthur or being Robin Hood. I loved those adventuring moments in movies that I liked as a kid, so that final battle always appealed to me as a little kid. So yeah, I think this is worth watching. I don't think there's any lessons to be learned in this.
No.
Don't trust your fairies, I guess.
And you know what? That's a pretty good life lesson right there. Just don't trust any of your magical fairies that show up that want to help you by taking you away from your family for 16 years. Seriously, you fairies, come on, man.
Yeah,
ladies.
I don't think this is... I don't need to surprise you with this one, because I think I know your answer. Of all the movies that we've watched in this in this era, where do you rank Sleeping Beauty? So right now, for those who need a reminder, it's for Jeff, it's Cinderella, Lady and the Tramp, Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, Ichabod, and Mr. Toad.
So it's not a surprise, but at the same time, it's a little bit of a surprise because it's not the bottom of the list.
Okay, all right.
It is. I am putting this at my number 4.
3, 4. So above Alice in
Wonderland?
Wonderland?
I'm effectively, above Alice in Wonderland, because Alice in Wonderland was so just what is happening and so disconnected that actually, and I sat and I thought about this, because I'm like, as originally I'm like, nope, I was going to make it number 5 because it's still not as bad as Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. And again, I like the Sleepy Hollow storyline.
Right. So always worth mentioning that sometimes ranking these is difficult because it's sometimes by a fraction. So continue.
Right. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't rank it. I can't rank it bottom of the list, but I can't rank it below Alice in Wonderland, because if given the opportunity to watch Alice in Wonderland and Sleeping Beauty, I'd put Sleeping Beauty back on.
There you go.
Because at least it was, it was ridiculous, but I could still follow. I guess I didn't. It wasn't Sleeping Beauty or Alice in Wonderland. Almost came off a little annoying in spots to me.
Yes,
I don't think I conveyed that in the podcast, but it came off a little annoying. Mad Hatter Tea Party scene completely excluded. That was just brilliant. But that whole thing, Edwin, that was great. But I would watch Sleeping Beauty again before I'd watch Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
In a heartbeat.
All right.
So I'm putting mine at number 4 this week. Where are
right.
you putting yours?
I thought you were going to put it lower. I actually thought you might put it at the bottom. But of the movies we've watched so far, my ranking has been Lady and the Tramp at number 1, Cinderella at number 2, and then similar to Jeff, Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, and Ichabod and Mr. Toad. I am placing Sleeping Beauty at number 4. I'm putting it right there with you, Jeff.
Oh, really?
No!
We had 1 week.
For the same reasons, though, because I would, if given the choice between Alice in Wonderland and Sleeping Beauty, I would watch Sleeping Beauty again because I really enjoy the look of this film, and I really enjoy the potential of this film. And there are key moments that I can see what could have been. And I know that's not fair to kind of fan canon certain things, but it's a better looking movie, and it's less obnoxious as Alice in Wonderland, just as Jeff was saying. So yeah, it's my number 4 as well.
It's interesting because, as we brought up before, when we do these rankings, at least for me, I know I can't just go the fairies were stupid. I don't want to watch this ever again. Bad movie, number 6. Like, I'm never going to do that because I still have to look at but it's pretty. It's well done. Yes, and you have a bad guy who's just a bad guy. There's nothing else to it. That's really kind of cool that they went that direction. Which is, I feel like, not even something they would do nowadays in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
The bad guy still has some reason why they're bad, some motivation to be bad. Mm-hmm. And it's hard. I can't just make a rash decision, and it's this because of this reason. I have to go, yeah, the story was bad, and I complained about the story for 10, 15 minutes in this episode. But it was still pretty, and I would totally watch it again. You have to do that.
We are still in some classic animation here, some classic Disney animation and classic cinema as well. That there's, if not the plot, there's a reason that Sleeping Beauty has maintained its classic status, and it could be because of Maleficent being the baddest of the bad. It could be because we've seen a change in animation from Lady and the Tramp before it to how many years was between Lady and the Tramp and Sleeping Beauty?
4 years. 4 years were between those two films. Yep.
And Sleeping Beauty being in development hell for 10 years also played a part in the look of it. But there's a lot of good in Sleeping Beauty that it's understandable why it's on here. I even almost put it above Peter Pan, but I think that my love of Captain Hook, my love of just the desire to be able to fly, the cool pixie meanness of Tinkerbell, like it was a close battle there between the two of them. But I'm still leaving Lady and Tramp as number 1 because of the look of it, the joy of it, the storytelling aspect of it. There we go. That's my list.
It's very interesting. See, and it's fun. I'm really hoping for, and I guess right now we still both have different number 1s. So
right. Yeah.
Our list will definitely the movies that'll be moving into that final round of films that we'll get to one day. will be different movies. At least it's not the same list for that. So
for now, yeah.
Which, speaking of which, we got 3 more episodes. I believe 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, we have 4 more episodes before we redo our top 10s and then start all over again. So.
Right, yeah.
Oh, man. That'd be the Aristocats. But anyways, so do we want to talk about was there anything else regarding the movie before we moved on to any comments from our awesome listeners and fans out there?
No, I think some of the comments we have do regard Sleeping Beauty. Wyatt, Thomas on the Facebook page. Thank you guys for commenting. I think we actually hit some of the topics you both have brought up. So forgive us for not giving you credit for those, but thank you for initiating the conversation on there. For those listening who would like to comment, if you're listening anywhere else but on Facebook or Ghost Hat, iTunes and Google Play and whatnot, head over to Facebook.com /TopShelfPod, Facebook.com/TopShelfPod, and look for...
It's close enough. Enough.
the movie-specific posts that we have. We either the episode after it's posted as you're listening now, or you can often catch us the day we record. We do a little, hey, we're recording today. Any comments or thoughts? And engage us. We appreciate the comments. You can also tweet at Jeff, at Random Bell, and myself at TC's Big Head if you want to initiate us in some conversation privately. I actually have been getting some conversations going with a couple of people who've initiated with tweets that I responded to, then we're off topic now, just talking about other things. So thank you for engaging us and knowing we're not just talking, we're not full of sound and fury. We actually are reaching some ears.
I'm kind of full of some fury, but not a lot of it. I'm kind of like a Guy Fury, if you really would. That's a bad joke. Why did I go there?
Quick, go to a comment.
So
Jeff.
I do want
to comment.
Okay, real quick comment, real quick question. So actually, this is kind of connected back to what because we were already talking about the live action Maleficent movie. So this is from Colin. Colin wanted to know. Colin, by the way, co-host of the Top Shelf Oscars Best Picture podcast, which you can also find on the Facebook page, which is also now on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. Check those out. Anyways, Colin wanted to know, because Maleficent is more or less the live action version, retelling of Sleeping Beauty from the villain's perspective, what other Disney villains do we think that they should try this on or focus on? Should they do this more often? Should they do from the villain's perspective instead of just remaking the film?
Well, I think I made my feelings clear that I did not like it, that I did not care to see this perspective. However, There have been some interesting retellings of classic stories from a different perspective. There's some good Robin Hood tellings where you get much more of Guy and the Sheriff of Nottingham. You get much more. If you've seen the BBC version of Robin Hood, I know his name's Guy. He's the sheriff's right-hand man. He gets far more development, and he's much more interesting of a character. However, that's a TV series where you need to develop your supporting cast. You can't just make them cardboard cutouts or tell a story within 2 hours. But Jeff, you may have someone in mind, but my favorite villain stories that develop some characterizations of them are like Loki from the Marvel movies, Kingpin, and Kilgrave from the Netflix Marvel series.
Whoa,
I do like to see the villain's story and explanation for why they're so sinister, but no one comes to mind for the 16 so movies we've seen so far. Jeff, how about you?
Yep. And that's a tough thing because I can't picture any of the ones that we've watched so far. There's not a character that I care about. Like, I don't really need to know the full evil backstory of the stepmother and the stepsisters from Cinderella.
No.
You know, like, I don't need to know that. But in that same light, like, if it's future Disney films, like, I wouldn't mind a movie about Jafar, you know, like, just to know more about him. I wouldn't mind one from, you know, I actually, like, as much as I love Beauty and the Beast, and first off, I really liked that live action film. Just, I'm sorry, sue me. I like that movie. I love the animation ones too as well. But, like, I don't need to know his backstory because his character doesn't feel like it would warrant it. The villain needs to be it needs to be somebody with magic powers. It can't just be a person. Like, right. I don't want something from, like, Pocahontas or anything like that. Like, I don't know.
No. Who cares about it?
I wouldn't even want Hades from Hercules. Like, I don't want that. I don't care. But, like, I would love, as what we've already discussed, a Maleficent film that shows her why she's evil.
Yeah,
that would be
not
brilliant.
In the way they presented it, because there's a lot of it's an allegory for rape. Family podcasts. Kids, ask your parents.
Well, so what they basically did is they took the original story of Sleeping Beauty, which was kind of an allegory for rape, and they turned it into Maleficent, which is an allegory for rape. It's like, really? Okay. There's anything. No,
there have been some explorations of villains, and if you look at Snow White and the Huntsman, now granted, at first brush you're going to think of Snow White and the Huntsman and be like, Kristen Stewart, blah. But to be honest, that movie actually isn't half bad. It's visually stunning, and Charlize Theron developing the evil Queen Ravenna, I believe that's the name of her character, there's some neat stuff there. She's still a bad guy. But you know what? Of all the live action movies they've made, Jeff, the worst one and you didn't even remember it until I'm saying it. The people listening didn't even remember this was a movie. The worst is The Sorcerer's Apprentice starring Nicolas Cage.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that is the
TC,
worst.
I blocked that from my head.
Yep, that is the worst reimagining of a Disney classic. It stars Jay Baruchel and Nicolas Cage as the evil sorcerer, and it's terrible. It is the worst.
Oh my! Now, imagine, if you will, that they took that film and they crossed it over with Maleficent, and they made those two get together.
Oh
in a sequel.
man, Nick Cage and Angelina Jolie in a crossover film. All right, you convinced me. Make it so, Disney.
I want to do some magic upon your face. What?
That's pretty good.
Take
Nick
your
Cage.
face.
Who? What? Where?
That would be. Who? What? Where? Just horrible. You know what? I forgot that movie existed.
Yep, that's right. That's how bad it is. So you know what, Colin? No. That's it. That's my answer. No.
Well, I hope you like that answer, Colin. Hope you don't mind. I'll get a text from that. I'll get a text later Wednesday morning, won't I, Colin? Yes, I will. Well, that's all the questions that I had. Oh, and real quick, I did want to bring up. Thanks, David. David tweeted us on the Twitters, on the Twitter pates, regarding he found the comparison video we were bringing up last week, because during Lady and the Tramp, I mentioned that they animated it for the 255:1 widescreen CinemaScope ratio, and then they redid it to be more Academy aspect ratio, so more of like the full frame.
Yeah. I'm still blown away by that.
And then I brought up
so much work. How could they do that? But go ahead.
So much work. But David found the sample video, because I brought up the fact that like Pixar did it for A Bug's Life and a couple of their other films. He found the sample video that someone did where they compared them. They compared the widescreen version of A Bug's Life to scenes from the full frame version of A Bug's Life, and you could see how they shifted characters around and over, and I'll try to remember to post a link to that video in the comments below last week's episode on the Facebook page, just so you guys can take a look at it, because it was it's cool just to see, like, I can't believe they did that, and imagine that was just with computers, which is literally all they had to do was shift the characters around in the frame instead of the animation, which was all by hand, having to shift things around. I'm like, I don't even want to know.
Well, so Sleeping Beauty is going to be the last hand-drawn cell animated movie we see. That they go on to the Xerox method after this.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry
interesting.
to jump in there, but it was worth mentioning the amount of work that went into Sleeping Beauty, the amount of work that went into Lady and the Tramp to animate it twice. The fact that Pixar did that with computers, that's a crazy amount of work. That's double the work, and Sleeping Beauty was not the success they were hoping for, especially after some of the successes they had with the movies leading up to this. Disney animation has not been doing great, and Sleeping Beauty is another stain on their history.
Well, because you gave a nice little hint at what next week's episode is, I might as well go tell you guys, because I don't know did we do that last week for Sleeping Beauty? I don't remember.
I believe we did.
Did we? Okay, good. I'm glad you remember, TC. I just kind of spaced out what I said 10 minutes ago. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is the episode.
Hello, Internet dwellers.
Hello, Internet dwellers. We're back. So next week's episode, we are going to be watching the 1961. We're in the 60s, TC.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? The 1961 film 101 Dalmatians.
101.
I'm sounding like a broken record. It was elementary school was the last time I watched the cartoon version, the animated version.
Okay.
I've seen the live action version from the 90s?
Glenn Close, right? As Cruella
with Glenn
DeVille.
Close.
And they're working on a new one.
I saw that version.
You know what, Colin? Back up here. Colin, you wanted to know if we wanted to see another villain's backstory done from their perspective for a movie. There is a movie in pre-production right now about Cruella DeVille starring Emma Stone as Cruella. So you have that to look forward to.
That sounds intriguing.
Yeah. I think it's fascinating that we went a dog movie, a fairy tale, to a dog movie.
It's almost like Disney was like, let's go back to the animals. Can we do that? Because and then Sword in the Stone is human, isn't it? And then we go back to animals again.
Yep.
Interesting. Disney, I'm onto you. I will crack your code, Walt. He's not listening, is he? He's been dead for 50 years.
He's in his cryogenically frozen chamber and
with earbuds in.
just very aggravated.
Just listening. That way when he wakes up, when they unfreeze him in another 50 years, he wakes up and he's just furious of all the people doing podcasts about his films.
As completely improbable, as completely unlikely, as completely science fiction as it might be, I like the idea that Walt Disney is frozen in carbonite and that they unthaw him every now and then just to check in. Just like, hey, Mr. Disney, that not even like the Futurama head in a jar situation, that his full body is just in a chamber somewhere, that they just
like, welcome back, Mr. Disney. Oh man, this is getting hotter and hotter every time.
Report.
I don't know why. Yeah. Report, what's going on with my movie?
Oh my God, Nicolas Cage is Walt Disney. No, it's Tom Hanks.
Crash.
It's Tom Hanks.
But wouldn't you go see the movie just that little bit more if it was now Nicolas Cage starring as Walt Disney?
How dare you, sir?
Just a little bit more. All right. Well, with that, everybody, I think we're done with this week's episode.
Yeah, after our longest episode,
issues, a lot of headaches, and
our longest episode last week, we were followed up with a shorter episode. So we never know how long these are going to be.
A shorter one.
But I think we've said everything we need to say. So you can once again hit us up on the Facebook, facebook.com/Top Shelf Pod. You can also Twitter page at Jeff, at Random Bell, at me, at TC's Big Head. Check out ghosthat.net for other fun things, such as the other Top Shelf podcast with Lindsay and Colin, where they are watching the Best Picture winners. And, yeah.
Yes, which they decided to start with the most recent episodes, and they are most recent movies, and they are working their way backwards. I had mentioned last week, I thought they were randomly choosing, but they decided just to go
in reverse,
most recent, and work their way back. Yep.
Okay.
So go ahead and check those out. Those will be posted on the page. They are posting every Monday, or when they have episodes, they'll be posting on Mondays. Not every Monday, just the occasional Monday. So.
But with that said, we are actually going to take a break. I will be taking a trip to Europe where, if I may be so bold as to boast, I have a film playing at the Festival de Cannes in France. That's the most American way I could say the title of the festival. But so we are going to take a break for a couple of weeks. Maybe we can do just a little check-in episode, and we could post something on the Facebook page just saying hi, and I'll check in with Jeff, and maybe we'll record it. Just a possibility. I'm throwing that at Jeff live right now, so he didn't know I was going to say that.
What?
But we are going to take a couple weeks off.
We're gonna. What?
So that I may travel abroad.
I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out.
So.
Now, I will be here next week doing the podcast just one-sided, waiting for TC's answers and just sitting in silence when you're talking in my head. TC, I really enjoyed 101 Dalmatians. What did you think?
Cricket.
Oh, come on. Really, Cruella? I can't believe you would even think that. No, sir, it is the greatest movie ever. You are a liar. Just for 45 minutes. That's the entire episode.
It'll be our most listened to episode. It really would be.
Because people would be like, does he keep going for 45 minutes just talking to nobody?
That would be a sheer commitment, I tell you that. All right. Well,
when
thank
in reality,
you, everybody.
You could have been there, and I could have just muted your side of the microphone.
Oh, you monster. You know what? We're going to finish recording right now, and I'm going to play back our recorded audio, and it's going to be empty, and you are posting this episode with or without me. Whether my voice made it through this episode or not, we are posting this episode.
We are posting this episode. We're not going to record it again.
All right. Okay, all right.
Well, with that, everybody,
we're leaving.
TC, do the sign off.
Goodbye, everybody. All right.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm TC. That's Jeff. We'll see you next time. And until next time, we'll be
Bye,
right
everybody.
here. Goodbye, Nicolas Cage.
Goodbye.
Mr. Cage.
Goodbye.
Mr. Cage.
This has been a production of Ghost Hat Media, proud member of the Ghost Hat Network. Find them online at www.ghosthat.net.
I like the ending.